Good afternoon. This is Kirk Gallagher, Executive Director of HBMA. Thank you for joining us for this next webcast of HBMA Live. Today we have two guests who are joining us to talk about the HBMA 2021 conference. Roxanne Smith-Kovac, who wears many hats within HBMA. She's our secretary. She serves on our education committee, as well as numerous other committees from HBMA. And then Lindsey Sullivan, she's our manager of education and learning services. And they're both here again to talk to us about the program for the fall conference and educational programs in general. Welcome, both of you. Hello.
Thanks, Kurt. Thank you.
So thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being our guest. Roxanne, you've been involved in HBMA for a number of years, and you've been involved, of course, that means in revenue cycle management for even longer. So how did you get involved in the industry?
Well, I started out in nursing. I discovered that I liked the paper better than all the details. So charting, and went on to medical records, and then went to work in a doctor's office in 1985.
Oh, wow.
And started learning how to do billing with a manual, page one, because there was nobody there. So you open up page one and start reading and learn how to do billing. And I worked there for 10 years, and then they had a colleague that wanted a biller and just asked if I could do it like at night or weekends. And that turned into another one and another one and another one. And then I was part of a company back in long time ago, and then started this company in 2011. And we're 100% remote. We have been since then. So this is our 10th year of everyone working from home.
Congrats on 10 years too.
It's going really well, and our company's here in San Diego, and we specialize in a few different specialties, just a few, so we can get good at those ones. And but joined with HBMA, I looked on my account to see how far back the invoices go. They only go to 2007, so I know it was long before then, and another version. HBMA, so been a very long time. Really made a huge difference in building my companies through all those years.
Really? So how so? You know, what did HBMA do for you way back when you were looking through those books? And...
Well, I remember the first exhibit hall, and you walk into a conference and there's all these vendors, and you get to walk up and say, what do you do? I still do that to this day. So what do you do? And they'll tell you if they have software. I met my software company at a conference. If they do, statements, credentialing, anything, MIPS, all of it. And you just walk in and talk to them, get their card, look at a demo. And next thing you know, you have the latest, greatest software and the latest, greatest technology for your company. And you couldn't, I don't know where I could get that someplace else, because they're like all there in a room. That's great. So.
Right. One trip instead of 10 trips or more.
Right.
So how about you, Lindsey? You've also worked with HBMA for a number of years. Essentially, for as long as HBMA has been with Smith-Kovac, our management company. You've got a lot of perspective too on the educational programs. How did you come to Smith-Kovac and get into education? And then, what was your pathway to HBMA?
Yeah, so I have been with HBMA for almost 7 years. I started in October of 2014, and I have been on HBMA since my day one with Smith-Kovac. I got into the education space. I worked with college students prior to joining with Smith-Kovac, and really enjoyed doing learning and leadership development and figuring out ways that we can help people in their own position better themselves. So putting together those learning opportunities, those times like a conference where people can get together and network and learn from each other and learn, like Roxanne was just talking about, from the vendors, and just creating those spaces to allow that learning to happen, which is what really drew me to Smith-Kovac. And I was placed on HBMA as a brand new associate with the company, and didn't know a lot about medical billing or the space. And over the past 7 years, it's been so interesting to kind of learn it from the outside and learn a lot of those keywords and buzzwords and the sorts of things that people really want to hear about at the conference, and be able to put together programming to help you all with your businesses.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for, contributing to this effort, because it really is an important team effort to identify the issues that we think will be important for members to learn about, and then going out and actually finding the speakers who can talk about them in a way that's meaningful to help out. So you've been working on the conference program for this year. And of course, we're excited about being back in person again, finally. We're looking forward to being in Dallas. And, what are some of the sessions that you think might be particular interest to members this year, maybe particular help, given the challenges we've gone through over the past year and a half?
Yeah, Roxanne, do you want to take maybe a session that you're super excited about?
Yeah, the Education Committee does so much planning on this. It's amazing. And it starts with surveys from members to say, what do you want to see at a conference? It's like a tell me, sell me thing. It's really nice. I'm on that committee. I get to offer an opinion about a session that I need to see and I want to learn about. They reach out, find speakers. Next thing you know, it's on the agenda and I get to go to that. So it's kind of like build your own, conference. So great committee for that. We have several this year that are really exciting. And with a conference, I was saying before, you don't know what you don't know. You might think everything's going well in your company, but there's still something obviously changing every minute. We used to say every hour, but now we're probably in every minute. And so you go to these with the intent to find out something new and really get a tidbit out of that, the top tips and things like that. So they have some on a diverse workforce. So more work from home tips, even though I've been doing it for a long time. There's all kinds of new things out there because of all the people that just went home and what they've learned. And so I want to get up to date on that and hear about that. Changes in technology. There's telehealth and remote patient monitoring. That as a company, I need to advise my clients about those. Do they want to get in that space? There's so much technology coming on those. And, so what can I learn to pass along to them? Not only just for me for billing for it, but companies they can utilize for the service and how that works. MIPS, always been around, but there are a lot of companies that can do it for you. But how can we help our clients get the most points possible in their practice? Are they missing something? Do we see anything else that they can do? That would be really important. Those are just a few that I think of that I want to go and see and find out something new about.
Yeah, it's interesting how you put it, that you don't know what you don't know. It's always a surprise, those learnings, right?
Yeah.
Something you think you might be a pro in an area, and there's always something new that adds value. And for you, not only do we have the educational speakers coming from outside, we also have speakers from internal to the community. So you've been a participant in member panels the last couple of years, Roxanne. And I remember actually our last in-person conference, you were almost the star of our member panel that year, talking about remote operations. Little did we know that we'd all be living it the next year.
That was so much fun to do, and there were so many good questions, and there were people in the audience saying, I'm never going to do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm never going to do it. I'm never sending anyone home. They have to be here. And then 2020 hit. And my phone was ringing like crazy. I did a couple webinars, just some quick tips and how to do it, because people had to do it so quickly. But it was a great panel last year on all kinds of topics. But yeah, those questions were just pouring in. It was a lot of fun.
And I understand that you may be on a panel again for our conference this year. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know about that yet. Am I going to be?
Oh, well, surprise. Yes.
Well, Roxanne, I think there's a good chance that you'll be one of our invited folks for the member panel this year. I just was having a call this morning with Megan Browner, our Education Committee Chair. And we were talking about that member panel and kind of what the vision for it is. And what we're working to narrow down on is solutions for the future of the workplace. If that's technology, if that's tips for remote offices, but kind of gathering around that topic and giving people some real tangible takeaways from other member companies from within the HBMA space that they can take and implement the next day as soon as they're back, whether that's in their physical office or in their home office.
That would be great. It'd be really interesting. I know there's a lot of hybrid models that people are doing where half are at home, some are in the office, certain days, certain times. It's really changed a lot about how they're running their companies, opened up how they can hire from anywhere. They don't have to hire within their direct, community or city. They can hire from anywhere and have them work. And hopefully that's helping in the pool of people that they have access to. So yeah, I'm really, that'd be interesting to hear about the new technologies that they've found. And I have a lot of cloud-based programs, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch more that have emerged and come up and that people are using. And I know one of the sessions is on workflow automation. That would be one of my favorites to watch. It's all about efficiency and how you do things and how you keep up with the technology. So that would be a really good one to attend as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that automation session is our closing session, which to me, putting it at that spot in the conference is exciting, right? Because it's really looking at the future and what we can be doing. So leaving the conference on that high note, impassioned and empowered and just excited and inspired by the ideas of where we can take things with this technology.
Yeah, they were at the virtual conference last year and did a type of session like that, and it was amazing. I really enjoyed it. But I'm all about analytics. I really like that. It's fun for me. So that would be a really exciting one to see. Definitely.
It's also an opportunity to have something at the end that, is a concrete learning that attendees can take with them. And it's a great way to end it. So you're going out at the end and you'll have it right at the top of mind. I'm looking at our stream right now. It looks like actually we've got some comments coming in. Just someone saying hello. The CEO of Syntexia Healthcare, Raj. So hello, Raj. Thanks for saying hello. And if there are any other comments or questions we have for the panel, please, feel free to drop them in the chat and we can go ahead and take those up. So for Lindsey, over the years, HBMA is, engaged in a wide range of educational programs. And one thing that I'm impressed by is the ability to provide thought leadership to the community. And that's something that I think that the committee should be proud of, because that's a real contribution that's made to HBMA over the years. What is it like though, working with, the committee? It's, you've got so many different people, so many different volunteers, different time zones. What is that like, just trying to, bring everybody together and around consensus around that common vision?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Roxanne put it really well earlier when you said that you feel like you kind of get to design the conference that you want to attend. And I think that's what's so beneficial about having a committee with folks from different size companies, different geographic areas. We bring everyone together once a month for an in-person or for a virtual call, but live, and then do a lot via email in the back end. But just being able to bring everyone there and hear their diverse points of view and what it is that they're struggling with that maybe someone else is doing okay at, and vice versa, and being able to kind of pull those ideas out. I think it's also great that HBMA members, and especially the members on our committee, are really plugged in throughout the greater industry and are able to see speakers that maybe they've read an article from somewhere that we can pull and have bring that leadership to HBMA and become a speaker with us. So I think it's just great to have so many different viewpoints to be able to pull together a cohesive program. As we put together, we do an abstract submission process each year. So we put together a list of the main topics that we're really looking for based on some of those surveys from the membership and what the committee is looking for. And then as we kind of put the puzzle pieces together, we make sure that we've got something for everyone within the HBMA audience.
Oh, great.
We even get idea boards. People will post on HBMA message boards and ask a question, want advice about something. It could just be a range of things. That's an idea as well. And even people will post, could this be at a future webinar or at the conference? And so we get the ideas from wherever we can to try to present those and make the best conference for all the different, like Lindsey said, all the different sizes of the companies, from very small to very, very large. Can they get something out of it too? What would be of interest to them? So trying to meet up with everyone there.
Yeah, and Roxanne, I think what you just said is a great plug for all of our listeners out there. If there's something that you want to see that you feel like HBMA can be providing to you, put that on the message board. Send us an email. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to put that content together for you.
Right, absolutely.
Great. Well, it seems like it's also a pretty heavy lift. I hope that members of the committee are really proud of what they do put together each year on behalf of HBMA. And if someone else wanted to get involved, are there still opportunities to get involved in the committee?
Always, the more the merrier. We're always happy to have new voices join in on the committee. In addition to the conference, we do year-round webinar programming, so there's always something to get involved with. Roxanne, I'm sure you could agree with this. It's usually a bit of a heavier lift in the first few months of the year, and then it's a little quieter over the summer, and then it gets a little heavy again around the conference time. The beginning of the year is when we do our abstract review, and in any given year, we'll have dozens of abstracts to take a look at. So there's definitely some time commitment there, but it's great to have all of those voices helping out. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you.
One of the things that impresses me about HBMA is just the willingness of the community to share. It's something I think that is really special. Having worked for a lot of other organizations, I don't see that to the same degree. Members just being able to share what they learned, their knowledge, their experience with others. So getting involved in the committee is a way to do that. And there may be a possibility for members to be featured. So I know we've hosted member panels in the past, which Roxanne has participated in. And so welcome for volunteers, but also welcome ideas for future content in our programming. So the conference, of course, isn't just about education. It's also about the people and the attendees. So Roxanne, are you looking forward to seeing your colleagues and friends in the RCM industry?
Well, I see everyone all the time. I see you guys probably with Kurt once or twice a week. I mean,
yes,
I see people on committees and on the board all the time. So that's really neat. And the things and I'm not just boasting about this. This is absolutely true. The things you learn on committees are from the other members in the committees. So you can reach out to them with questions, concerns that you have in your company. And you've got this network of people that will, as Kurt said, very openly share that. And it's kind of amazing. We've had side lunch things at the conference, just sitting with people and talking about our industry and share everything about it, how you organize, how you do everything. And I don't know, it's not a competition thing. You don't think of it like that. There's plenty of providers to go around, I think.
Right.
So, it's just this great network of people that you can tap into at any time. So volunteering on a committee, it's not work. It's you could be going through a committee and talking about marketing. And that marketing piece you're going to use in your own company later on. It comes back to you tenfold of all the time that you give and the people that you meet. So I'm looking forward to seeing them in person because it's a couple of years since we've seen anyone in person, but they look great so far. I've seen them several times, like weekly sometimes. So, but that will be really nice. Yeah.
And it's also exciting that where we'll be. So in downtown Dallas, talking to other colleagues who've been to the city, sometimes a conference might be at a venue that's separated from downtown, maybe even by a highway or way outside. So it's exciting where we'll be. We're right in the thick of it.
And the pictures you guys posted of the Sheraton, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Beautiful property.
It really is.
Yeah, it looks great. So that's very exciting as well. Yes, it's nice to be in downtown. You can walk to places and enjoy it that way and meet up with other people that you, like you said, haven't seen. So that'll be nice.
And it'll be a big reunion, that's for sure. All of us together again in Dallas. So
yeah.
And how about you, Lindsey? So, I know you work with a number of different groups. Do you have any exciting travel coming up outside of Dallas, of course, later on this year?
So I actually had my first post-pandemic lockdowns travel just 2 weeks ago. I got to be in Las Vegas, so it was nice to kind of not even really ease back into it. It was right off the deep end to a large format trade show. But it's so exciting to see the events industry coming back. And I'm thrilled that HBMA is able to do an in-person event this year. Last year doing virtual, it was a fun challenge. I had a lot of fun planning a virtual conference, but I think there is a lot to be said to have people there in person. And Roxanne, I think you just mentioned, right? Like the chats that you have at like the networking breakfast or some of those, the more like informal learning that you just can't quite get in the virtual space. There's great opportunities for formal learning there, but the chats that you have walking in and out of a session or like after the Q&A and you turn to the person sitting next to you and you have a great dialogue about a particular part of that session. I think there's a lot of great things to come out of that. And so I'm very excited to go to Dallas. A few of my other organizations that I work for have continued to be virtual this year, so I don't have a whole lot of travel coming up. Okay. But in February, I'm going to San Diego, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she'll be in your town.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And how about you, Roxanne? I know you love to travel. Do you have any travel plan? Any exciting places outside of Dallas this year? Just curious.
Yeah, they're opening back up. So bye. I'm gone. No, first one is Greece, right after the conference.
Wow.
Right from Dallas. I'm going.
Wow.
That sounds great.
Dallas. So it was planned a couple of years ago, and then the conference was on, so I was able to do both. And very excited to head off again. And I love to travel, so it's that's my first one. So well,
thank you for joining us in Dallas, fitting it in, and of course Greece is on my bucket list, so I'm glad you'll be able to enjoy that. So well, are there any other tidbits that you want to share about the conference before we break? Really appreciate you taking time to talk today.
No, just I encourage everyone to go and to get to go to a conference and be able to see people and have those, we call them hallway meetings, Lindsey, where you actually have a meeting in a hallway. There's a lot of them, a lot of networking going on, a lot of sharing of ideas. I'm excited to go and find out what I don't know. There's always something. So I'd encourage everyone to attend and join a committee on the sign-up sheets that will probably be at the HBMA booth. It really makes a difference on your involvement and makes a difference in your company. So it's kind of a win all the way around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed. I'm just very excited to gather everyone together again, be in a beautiful space, be in, Kurt, I think you said right in the thick of it, right in downtown Dallas, being able to go out and explore and just learn a whole lot about what you don't know.
Absolutely.
New tagline.
Well, you've given us lots of taglines from getting back to work to Sparkle, which is something we're striving to put to our marketing. And now you don't know, but you'll know it soon enough, thanks to HBMA, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Never stop learning. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us. Really appreciate it. Love to have you back again on a future broadcast, and can't wait to see you in person, Roxanne and Dallas, and Lindsey. Hopefully I'll see you in the office again. We'll cross paths soon. So I'm sure we will.
Sounds good. All right.
Take care, everybody.
Good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.